ready?
Came the Sporthofer Berlin team who made 10 times
We
champion.
started and we are going for the ball. Akkaren's at the ball first.
So this is going to be a really exciting team because Orcas is one of the top teams and Akkaren, like we just said, the legend of the Champions Cup. And curious how this plays out. Orcas in white, Akkaren in blue. Champions Cup 2020 and Orcas are in ball possession. Oh, that was a pass. That is a deadly pass, but they
To the floor.
recovered it. Yeah, to the floor. But the Orcas managed to recover the ball, and we're going with the Orcas closer to the Norwegian basket from the close side. And
We have one Orcas player who went very fast into and assumed the position of the back, disturbed a bit the Norwegian defense, but they were not yet that close to basket with the ball. And Akkaren recovers the ball. Very good support here. Extremely precise passes. We have fast counter-attack.
And this is what we know of Akkaren. They go in defense, like this is kind of a Norwegian style. They wait in defense and then really pop out in a counter offensive that is really fast. And now they put a lot of pressure onto the Colombian basket.
Yeah, but the forecheckers forwards are doing an awesome job forechecking. Now we had one of the Colombians who pulled up the Norwegian attacker who was pushing on the goalie with the ball. And again, a counter-attack by the Orcas now. The ball goes the other way very fast.
So right now we see it quite on a comparable level, these two teams fighting back and forth. We had attacks on the Norwegian basket and the first attack on the Colombian basket. And now we're back with Colombia in the Norwegian pool area coming from the close side. And the Colombians almost immediately when reaching the other side go into attack. Call from the referee. It was a kick or
an attack on the head.
On the head.
Free throw. Blue
free
team
throw against
pushing.
Colombia.
This game is very fast so far.
Yes, and it's really exciting. It's one of the top women games we will see today because both teams are able here to challenge each other.
And as it's one of the finals, as the games for the first position, it's 2 times 15 minutes and not 10. So this has gone quite fast so far. Let's see if they keep it up for the next 25 minutes.
So far, I'm really impressed by the capabilities of the Orcas, keeping Akkaren really busy and attacking the Norwegian basket relentless. Now from the open side, that's a nice chance, but the player was all alone, no support from a block, and is tackled up to the surface. It's heavy fighting here in the defense of Akkaren, and Akkaren is holding on to the basket quite good. Now there's a Colombian player trying to steal the basket from Akkaren, creating a little bit of a chaos here, and another player comes from the open side. This was a dangerous situation for Akkaren, but pretty well solved by the experienced players of the Norwegian team.
Yes, now the ball fell, recovered by one of the Orcas again. It seems a bit like Orcas have pushed are messing a bit with the Norwegian defense, but it doesn't get that dangerous for them. I think the Norwegians still know pretty well what they're doing.
Colombia still in ball possession around the basket of the Norwegians, and even though they right now pretty much control the game here and attack on the basket like now from above, this is not a dangerous situation for Colombia too, because Akkaren is pretty capable of breaking free suddenly, and their defense is very solid, even though the pressure rises from the Orcas, and they are looking for gaps, creating situations like stealing the basket to be able to score.
Now we had the Norwegian sub jumped in and stole the ball from the Colombians, intercepted a pass. And we have, I guess, a timeout requested by the Norwegians. Not sure what's happening underwater. We're still playing, or is there free throw?
Timeout, blue team. Time out, blue team.
I would say
Time out.
this is an interpretation now, but Akkaren is not really happy with these first minutes they had, because they did not really control the game. It was in the hands of the Colombians, and the Colombians did pretty good forcing Akkaren to follow their lead.
Yes, I think now Akkaren are regrouping and seeing how they can force the Colombians to then play their game. Yes, I reckon now we have a free throw after this timeout.
Yep.
Might be have been out of bounds. We're not sure what happened. The camera had switched already to the surface.
So Akkaren definitely wants to keep the title, but the Colombians, they are hungry for the title again. They want it. I don't remember when there was the last time. Let me check on the.
Well, 2019.
Yeah,
Akkaren
was it
won.
19?
The last Champions Cup was 2019 when Akkaren won.
Yeah, Akkaren won, but I think the Orcas, the girls did win it too one time. I don't exactly remember
So
when
you
it
have
was.
2010.
Could be, so quite a
Orcas.
time ago.
Okay, now we're starting again.
Curious if Akkaren changed their tactics. Again, Colombia in ball possession. Colombia is pretty active here around the Norwegian basket, and they are very mobile, very active, swimming back and forth. It's like playing the Norwegians dizzy here, but Norway is getting out of their defense, forechecking, trying to intercept these fast pass plays of the Colombians.
Yeah, the Norwegians are very good at pushing out of the basket, and now you see every time the goalie, the back push out every time they go up for air. The support swam a bit too fast here.
But this is one of the dangerous situations we just saw. Norway broke free of their own defense with the ball, but they only made it till the middle of the pool and were stopped by the Colombian forechecking. And now it's a back and forth, and here Norway managed to get into the half of Colombia.
We're in the corner now, moving the ball around. We have the ball is down at the Colombian goal. Number 3, working the goalie, gets pulled up again.
I think this is the dangerous situation for Colombia. If Akkaren manages to get pressure on the Colombian basket, they can put in their amazing experience to score. So Colombia really has to get the ball away from their basket and keep it in the half of the Norwegians to be able to score themselves.
Yes, so Orcas now recovered the ball after a surface scrum. Counter-attack, swimming back very fast. The goalie is by herself and gets her support in time before the ball gets dangerous for the Norwegians.
Impressive gameplay so far from the Colombians. They really manage to put Akkaren on their basket for a lot of time, and we haven't seen that much so far in this competition 2021 in Berlin.
Yes, I have a feeling that Akkaren is physically stronger than the Colombians. The players, individual players, are stronger. So every time one of the Akkaren players has the ball, she immediately gets 2 Colombians on her.
Yeah. I think Colombians are pretty aware of that fact, and their countermeasure, let's say, is we have to be more people against one Norwegian player, and we have to go there in as a team.
Yes.
Federico Fede from the Colombians, he's playing in the men's team, and he's the coach of the women's team. Very advanced coach thinking he has, and he's coaching the women's team for many years now with really experienced players in the team of the Colombians.
Yes, but Akkaren.
Oh, that was the first goal. That was very well played. Let's see the replay. That was really fast and a surprise, I think, for Akkaren too.
Just the goalie left.
She was behind the goalie on the close side, but there was a call from the referee. She said pushing.
Pushing. So it was no goal.
No goal.
No goal.
But very well played.
What I wanted to say just before they scored and then didn't score was that the Akkaren is very good at attacking the ball. So now they really go for it every time they're under attack. The goalies, the backs go for it, and they don't. They have very good support as well by the forwards. Now the ball went down to one of the Akkaren attackers, but immediately overwhelmed by 3 Colombians. And again, we have a counter-attack, one against one.
Situation here. Marina is trying to get a one-on-one situation on the Norwegian basket, and the Norwegian basket was stolen by a Colombian player. And they're relentless now in their attack from the open side, and this is quite dangerous. Again, the basket is stolen away by the Colombians.
And again, we have a scrum.
Wow, that's chaos. I never seen that much chaos on the Norwegian basket for a long time. But this is the dangerous point. Now Akkaren is switching back in attack mode and is
doing
already
their
on
long
the Colombian
passes.
basket.
Some passes under the back of the defenders, and Orcas recovers the ball.
That was a really exciting sequence we saw on the Norwegian basket. And it was a lot of pressure, and Akkaren was not holding up as we were used to see them playing. It was not the cool Norwegian style, but they were under pressure, and Colombia really was dictating what's happening there.
Yes. And now we have some fight for ball dominance in the center of the field. Akkaren still had the ball, gets recovered by Orcas. Now we have a back and a goalie down. We're missing a forward a bit there for support. No, she came and attacked the attacker from her back. Akkaren recovers the ball, but we're still in the close corner of their basket.
What's your impression, Lisa? Akkaren seems surprised. The playing style we see right now is a little bit irritated.
I don't like to say that, but it feels very chaotic. Like they're not in control.
No, and pass interceptions like we saw just.
Oh, awesome interception now. This is beautiful. Like that's what
yes.
that they're very good at. Those far passes, passing behind the back and knowing where the other player is going to be. But the problem is that against a team like Orcas, who is going with 2 players on them all the time, it does not want them to get close to their basket. They need support there more often.
And now we have the attack of Akkaren on the Colombian basket, but Colombia is there in numbers, and Akkaren, they don't manage to be there in the numbers we used to see when they go in the attack. It's 1 or 2 players, but they're all more or less blocked, and the Colombian players come back and back and back and back. So it's really hard for Akkaren to build up their structure and to be organized.
And now we had the surface scrum.
Ball out of the lane. Free throw, blue team. Ball
So
out of the lane.
The scrum went
Free
out
throw,
of bounds.
blue team.
Akkaren has a free throw. That's a good chance for them to try and score. Maybe they steal the Colombian basket. The Colombians bunker down. Orcas is too experienced to give them that chance.
Yep. The amount of diving time the Colombians have in this game is impressive. You have always a feeling there are 6 people down in the water, and their exchange rate is really high. So the frequency they dive and are present underwater is impressive. So here, this is going to be dangerous for the Colombian basket. Massive attack from the open side, but cleared pretty well from the Colombian player. She interfered, ripped the ball off the Akkaren hands, played to her teammate, and now Colombia tries to break out in direction of the Akkaren basket, but stopped by the forechecking.
We have a scrum again, bit into the Colombian half. Akkaren recovers the ball and keeps on going towards the Colombian basket. Yeah, when they're really close to the Colombian goal, their far passes, like in the very direct passes, do not work because the Colombians are there all the time.
They really annihilate their paths we see normally from Norway, the way they structure their attacks. Colombia really interferes pretty well. Another attack now, 3 players from Norway getting in force, but the ball carrier above the goalkeeper is tackled away to the surface, and we're going in the last minute here of the first 15 minutes, first half of the game. Akkaren from Norway against Colombia, and again heavy attack, 3 players from Norway on the Colombian basket.
The Colombians systematically pull the attackers up. They grab them from their midsection and pull them up to the surface.
The intensity with which the Colombian players play this game is impressive. The question is, can they hold it up? We go in the last half minute, and the Colombians have been relentless so far, and they will be in the last 20 seconds, I guess, and then we go into the second half. So this was an impressive power play throughout the whole 15 minutes, and now Colombia is in ball possession.
Covered the ball and swam back to the center. Akkaren recovers, passes to an Orca. We're at the surface, and I reckon that the first half time is the game towards like the second half of the half time, the last 5-7 minutes. And when they were at the Colombian basket, they were more dangerous, so to say, than when Orcas were in the Akkaren half. Orcas are very good at moving the ball. They had some attacks. They had this goal that ended up not being a goal because of
we'll see it again here, I guess. No, it was not a situation. Here, that was the one.
Let's hear what the referee is telling to the players.
So we hear the referees calling for the captain of the Colombian team.
I tell them.
There was a heavy holding here on the basket from the Norwegian team.
You can go, have your break,
So,
okay.
Because they are kicking, and they change their behavior, they move their feet when the attacker comes in and goes like this instead of going like this. You seen it?
Team warning for the goalies for kicking.
Yeah.
So the referees are talking about the fin movement, the feet movement of the Colombian team, and it sounds like Colombia is getting a warning for kicking at the goal.
Yes.
Amazing first half again. I repeat myself, I know, but it's amazing first half for the Colombian team, and I don't know how to put it in words, but it feels like Akkaren did not bring in the water what we used to see in their game. It was not the cool, dominating style, but a little bit surprised. Hey, what are you doing here? That's our game. That's our pool. But the Colombians are like, nope, it's us, and we are here.
Yes, it's 2 different kinds of game, and the cool and collected Norwegians have a bit of a struggle playing cool and collected, but I reckon they might switch it around in the second half.
Yeah, what the Colombians did pretty well, they didn't allow the Norwegians to build up their game. They interfered immediately in numbers, and they did it so pretty well. So the machine, the attack and defense machine of Akkaren was not able to establish their normal patterns.
Yes,
and that was amazing to see, because you don't see it very often. And it needs a lot of intensity, what we saw here from the Colombians, a lot of intensity to do this.
Yes, but Akkaren is very good in this. Like when they recover the ball, they manage to swim out, do a far pass, and their teammate is there. They know where they're going to be. They have those fast, streamlined moves and long passes, and this is really beautiful to see.
Absolutely.
And and they're also very good at when they're defending, they always push out and forecheck and go towards the ball and attack the ball. So the goalie and the back always get out of their position. the Colombians, when they're defending, they're not really doing that. They're defending, and then you will have the forwards that go and grab the player, the Norwegians, and drag them up to the surface. It's a bit more messy.
Yes,
and I think that disturbs the Norwegians in their attack pattern.
Yeah, but that's I guess that's exactly what Federico was training with the Colombians. We have to do it differently, and we have to do it in a way that will not allow the other team to do what they do best. Because if you destroy the structure of the other team, you have a chance to establish your own. And the let's say chaotic swarm style we see here from Colombia is working pretty well to get into Akkaren.
Yes, no, but it's a beautiful game so far. Very interesting to watch how they're fighting for dominance, because none of them is really dominating.
Yeah, and it's a lecture of how two teams with two different systems try to break each other's rhythm, and so far Colombia succeeded in forcing Akkaren to follow their lead.
And
I'm excited, Lisa.
I am too.
Okay, here we are, back again in the game.
Beautiful gain of the ball by Akkaren, pass to the player who was exactly where she needed
and
to
Colombia's
be.
In pocket.
Colombian recovers it.
And really fast, 3 players going for the Akkaren basket and are already on the goalkeeper from the close side. This is going to be a fast and merciless fight here. We will see in the water.
And as we said, there's not one final game. They have to play another final afterwards, both of those teams.
So the second wave of Colombian players come in, but now heavily intercepted by Akkaren players. Ball is falling down above the goalie and in the hands of the Colombian player. Next wave of Colombians coming in, getting in between. They are everywhere. It's like swarming. It's a little bit like mosquitoes getting into your ears, eyes, and everywhere. It's like it looks really annoying.
Oh, look! The back pushed out and went attack the ball. No, that was free throw.
Blue team pushing. Free throw. Blue team pushing.
Okay, so this form is a bit overwhelming.
Yeah,
indeed, they are pushing.
Yeah, that's a price they pay, because they are everywhere and try to get into every little break in the defense. So yes, there will be pushing involved, and they risk it because it might get them an opening, which allows them to get closer to the basket.
We have a scrum at the surface. Oh, and this was a pass that was recovered very last minute by the Norwegian player. Didn't manage to get into position perfectly to be able to score.
Akkaren is putting pressure on the Colombian basket, and this is dangerous because the score capability of Akkaren is very high. Free throw against
pushing.
Akkaren pushing back.
White team.
Wow, this is but Colombia can on no price allow to end this game in a penalty shootout, because then they will lose.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure. So they have to force a decision while playing.
Yes, and both teams are very hungry, so they upped the aggressivity a bit, and that's why we're fouling a bit more. And I reckon the referees are extremely aware of that fact.
Totally agree.
That is one of the 3 women's final games, and so they are extra looking out for fouls, pushing, attacks on the head, as they have been as well the other days. So Orcas is moving the ball around the basket. They're not really moving onto the open side. They're staying mostly to the closed side.
True. Lisa, how is your Spanish?
It's good, but I'm too tired to speak Spanish at the moment. Sorry for that.
All right, Colombia is again and again putting pressure here on the basket. Oh, that was...
And into the hands of the Akkaren player. Now we have the Orcas who was trying to grab the Akkaren player to her by her head.
It looked like from the open side as if the Colombian player was putting the ball into the basket, but it was next to the basket.
It was the hands of the back.
Yeah. But that was a close one. It looked called from the referee, and it's another free throw against Norway, and Colombian player stole the basket. So This is really annoying for Akkaren. The way the Colombians always interfere, and wow, the Colombians, the Orcas are really awake, really concentrated, really focused in the game, and go in between Akkaren wherever they see a chance. And again, coming from the close side in another wave.
Yeah, Orcas are moving the ball around. There was a bit of a chaotic situation before, just at the free throw, and Akkaren recovers the ball, passes down to number 6, and another of those longer passes. No, the Orcas are in the center of the field. They're not letting them go through. I have a bit of a struggle here.
It's amazing how fast the Orcas intercept these
the players, if not the balls, the players. They set a wall.
Yeah, because this is what we know from Akkaren. They go through the Norwegian style, going through in a counter-attack. And here we have an attack from a one-on-one player, Colombian
recovered
player
by
from the
Amanda Basten.
It is surprising many situations that are dangerous for the Norwegian basket, but pretty good controlled in the end by Akkaren. But we saw no defense there. There was one-on-one situation, and amazing game, fast game, intense game we see here.
And Akkaren swimming back at the surface, getting 2/3 of the pool away. And we have now a surface scrum in the Orcas half. Ball fell down to the very bottom. We're in the corner, attacking from over the goalie, passing the ball down. The Norwegians are moving the ball around. Support is a bit too far at the moment. Orcas recover the ball.
Less than 10 minutes left, 9 minutes left here in the second half. And this is going to be a mental game now, the mental capabilities, who can keep up the concentration. And Orcas are now in ball possession, and we're moving back to the Norwegian part of the pool and are already close to the Norwegian basket. And the Orcas, the second player didn't arrive in time. The ball was lost again to Akkaren. There was a little delay here in the second attack wave, and the player was all alone. We're going back to the Colombian basket. Call from the referee, pointing to a Norwegian player, I guess.
Let's listen what's happening.
The number 2 of the Norwegian team.
2 or 7? 7. Number 7, Berit Detley. One of the legendary players.
Yes, she played in Berlin too.
So a hard roughing.
So Berit was warned for roughing. And we go back with in the game with a free throw.
Amanda Basten recovers the ball, drops it to the bottom.
We see many mistakes now in the Colombian team with passes. Balls get lost while passing from one to each other. Not the precision we saw before. And now an attack from the open side on the goalkeeper from the number 11 of the Colombian team, Silvia Lopez.
And now the goalie recovered the ball, pushed out. Still has control against 2 Akkaren players. You notice just the physical strength.
But the speed in which the Colombians interfere with the game of the Norwegians is amazing. But they are losing a little bit of their numbers we saw before. This is a chance. That was a close chance. The player and the open side got a pass, and there was a change of the goalies from Norwegian, but the Colombian player didn't manage.
Very, very fast counterattack from Akkaren, and they are already at the Orcas basket.
But again,
recovered in a scrum.
Amazing game.
Amanda is going to the basket, pass to one of her teammates, down in next to the basket, and again a scrum. Ball still in Norwegian possession.
No,
very
that was
beautiful
very well
goal.
done.
Beautiful goal.
There was a first push of a player right in front of the basket. Hit the ball in between the rim and the head of the goalkeeper, and the ball was stuck. And the second, the current player pushed it in for the whole part into the basket.
Number 9 pushed it in. I think the goalie didn't realize exactly what happened, and then number 10, so I think it was number 9, so Kjella Horlen wedged the ball between the goalie and the rim, and then Amanda Basten came in and pushed it down. Beautiful. Now Orcas have a bit less than 6 minutes to equalize. Ideally, they would need to score 2 goals now to be able to switch things around.
The big question is, with all the speed the Colombians put in the water so far, do they have the energy to go now? Because Akkaren is now in their machine mode, and they will execute another attack, and they now control the game more and more, and it's getting more and more difficult for the Orcas to keep up their fast interference play to stop Akkaren from doing what they're doing best, which is scoring.
Akkaren are extremely precise in their moves. Every time when we have a scrum or have a situation at the goal, Orcas would recover the ball by doing a scrum and going onto the player. Akkaren recovers the ball by intercepting the passes.
Mistake here from the Akkaren side, which gave an advantage to Colombia, who controls the ball now, and they're trying to push into the Norwegian half, but are intercepted by the forechecking, and one Colombian player now is clustered around from Akkaren players. Akkaren is in ball possession, pass down to the defender, and the game changed. It really now is the game of Akkaren. More and more they control the speed, but here is Colombia getting the ball back, but they're lacking the numbers now. What we've seen in the beginning, which was so impressive, these swarming numbers of Colombian players, and now we see more and more players of Colombia not able to pass because they don't have the numbers down, and little insecurities in the gameplay between them.
We had now Lilo Diaz at the surface holding off the Akkaren player, managed to pass down, and now the ball moved all the way into the close corner of the Akkaren side. And Orcas is attacking. Again, pass to the Norwegian forward who intercepts it.
This is a really, really difficult situation for Colombia now. They have to score. And they have to score fast. So they do everything, but with one player, like we've seen right now, one player alone against a whole defense team of Akkaren, that will not be possible. They have to have the numbers they had in the beginning, and they are not able to put them down in the defense of Akkaren so far.
We have a free throw now for Akkaren.
Time out, blue team. Time out, blue team.
Akkaren is taking a timeout.
It continues with free
Now they have
throw.
2 timeouts, I guess, because we have 2 times 50 minutes,
Yes.
and because it's a second timeout from Akkaren here in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I'm really impressed by the game capabilities of both teams. The start of Orcas was quite impressive, and they managed to get into the head of Akkaren and disturb their normal game. But what we see now, Akkaren, after the first goal here, after let's say about 10 minutes in the second half, Akkaren is taking more and more control of the game, and the Orcas lacking the numbers they had in the beginning.
Yes, and it's a very, very intense game.
Yes,
it's fun to watch. It's extremely stressful to watch as well.
Indeed.
There is some hectic phases as well. It seems like both teams are fumbling and doing. You see that they're a bit under stress, both of them.
Yes,
at the beginning,
yeah.
And now after the goal, it got
a
even
little
more
bit.
hectic.
Yes, but the mindset changed. Before, the Orcas were controlling most of what was happening with a very fast number game, and now Akkaren is coming back in their controlled style, and this is something the Orcas cannot allow if they want to change this game in the last 2.5 minutes. This is going to be tough and dangerous for the Orcas, and it's not impossible. 2.5 minutes are enough time to score, but what we've seen so far, they didn't manage to do so in the first half when they were still more swarming like they are now. Now we are at the Akkaren basket, coming in from both sides, the front, back, and this is really good attack mode from the Orcas, still in ball possession, opening up space and going in several directions into the defense of Akkaren. But Akkaren is managing it pretty well so far.
Yes, and I reckon Akkaren took the time out to have a breather, gather a lot of air, and be able to bunker down now in defense and make sure that they do not make any mistake. If they don't make any mistake, they have won this game. And now they have the ball, they're counter-attacking in the close corner of the Orcas basket, moving the ball around.
Yeah, it's a total different game, don't you agree?
They're taking their time.
Yes, but they can take their time. In the first half, they were not able to because the Orcas were just swimming them dizzy. But this changed.
Yeah, but look at the Orcas are very aware of the fact that Akkaren is taking their time, so they immediately went for those passes. It's okay, the player is not very deep, they're not too close to the basket. Let's go and try and intercept the ball and this group there. Now we have a scrum at the surface.
Time is ticking for Akkaren, and we have less than a minute left. And wow, what a game! Amazing how Akkaren managed to adapt.
Do you reckon they'll try and score again? If they
well,
if it was still would have been 0-0, that you would have one player here
yes, exactly.
at the bottom at the basket waiting. They're not like if they see an opportunity, they might go for it.
They're holding on to the ball and don't want to lose the ball in the last 20 seconds. So they are just controlling the ball. And
Orcas got the ball back and is swimming.
Last attack we will see here, 10-11 seconds left. Last attack from the Orcas. This is their chance, and that would be an amazing feature to score now. 4 seconds, last attack, going in on the basket, stopped, and game over.
Beautiful game
from
both teams.
Amazing teams, amazing underwater rugby we saw in the water here. This is really underwater rugby in the highest quality of game. Two teams facing each other on a level that is something you can show other teams to teach.
Respect to both teams. It was beautiful. Orcas had this no goal, so they had a few good opportunities, especially in the first half time when they were working the Akkaren goal a lot more, and they were playing more of their game. And yeah, they had a goal, but that was not valid because of pushing. I think the referees had already beeped before that, and then Akkaren scored a beautiful goal with two players, the first wedging the ball, the second pushing it in. It was beautiful rugby.
If the first goal of the Orcas would have counted, Akkaren would have been under more pressure in the first half.
Yes, we had a bit of fouling at the beginning of the second half time. Both teams were hungry for a goal, and we had a bit of pushing, a bit of foul play as well. But
there was, I'm still a little bit speechless, and have the pictures of the game in my head. The Orcas had chances to score here, but it's so difficult against these very experienced Akkaren players, and even though you see just the goalkeeper on the basket, it's still like trying to push a wall away. They're really knowledgeable how to deal with these situations, and even though their gameplay has been interrupted in the beginning, it was not like they were breaking at all.
No, and it was when defending the teams where Orcas was really like a swarm, overwhelming the opponent, while Akkaren would be very precise and surgically go for it. So it was two very different styles, very strong teams. Both teams now have to play against Langen from Germany. And
this will be interesting to see how Langen does.